next station is Spadina. Spadina Station. Spadina Station. Spadina Station.
So how did you get started?
So it's a long time ago, in high school. I got into music journalism, writing for different blogs. And I got into electronic music, particularly just because of the rhythms and the visceralness of the music. And I just really got into that, and I started writing blog posts for different websites, Weird Canada and a few other websites. So basically, yeah, I just got into the music journalism thing, and that just snowballed from there. And eventually I branched out and started my own platform because I felt that there was music I wanted to write about that other blogs won't cover. So I started getting into more experimental stuff and decided to start my own platform to write about music I liked. From there, I just made a lot of connections and people in the scene making experimental electronic music.
Right.
And started to just get approached by people asking to do shows, and no one else was doing shows with experimental artists in the city, well, for the most part. And yeah, these artists were having trouble finding shows, so I just took it upon myself to book them and start doing shows. And I guess I was surprised how easy it can be. It's hard, but it's also easy that you can just make these connections online, bring them out to your city, and just find a venue, get them to play. So
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just out of a love for avant-garde sounds and trying to put independent artists on a platform that I feel they deserve a wider audience. So
You got an event tonight, right?
Sorry, yeah, tonight we got Nahshi from Milan. This is his Canadian debut. It's one of his only couple stops on his North American tour. Yeah, he plays lento by lento hardcore music with very slow BPMs, inspired by Gigi D'Agostino.
Nice.
So that should be really cool. I'm excited to see how the Toronto crowd reacts to him.
And that's the whole point, right?
Yeah. Part of the point is bringing artists from different countries, international artists, and bringing them into the local scene and having some sort of dialogue or exchange between the artists so that there can be a cross-pollination between our local scene and international scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And, branching out and not just doing the same thing over and over again, trying to have some sort of cultural exchange there. So, yeah, part of what I want to do is create that sort of hybrid between global scenes and the local scene.
Do you have a recipe for a perfect rave? Like
Perfect
your own
rave,
blueprint, like subversive blueprint for a rave?
I would say lineup first and foremost is key. You have to curate a good lineup.
True.
Have a headliner that has some intrigue, something different, and then maybe bring in some locals that complement the artist, but aren't necessarily the same style, but complement their style. So just curate a lineup that is cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously important. Creating an aesthetic around that lineup, having a good graphic design behind it, and secondary is venue, obviously.
That one is DIY, right?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a DIY venue. White House. It's an art studio. I like it because it's very intimate, and you can kind of pack in a room and it feels like, you know, you're right there with the artist. And you know, sometimes you can have the big warehouse raves and stuff, and those are cool too. But I don't know, there's something cool about being in an intimate space where everyone's sort of collectively dancing together and having a good time, you know?
Yeah, it's also like to build a community, right?
Yeah,
From locals,
to get like-minded
support.
people who are into this kind of stuff, you know, to connect and meet other people who like this kind of sound, and yeah.
Do you collaborate with other collectives from the scene?
Sort of. I've more so collaborate with individuals in a loose way. So in a way, Subversive is a collective, but it managed by me, but I still take on other graphic designers like James Hurley, Evan Burgess helps with tech stuff, Oscar now helps on the editorial side. So it's a loose collective. I don't like to think of it as just me or certain people, but sort of an amorphous thing that continues to evolve.
Yeah.
So like a loose collective. So, yeah, and there's people like On Earth I've connected with, and we talk about doing shows. We might do a show. Yeah, and I've had a lot of feedback from other artists and collectives that I'd like to work with in the future.
Sounds good. So what's your expectations for tonight?
Honestly, just like to get a decent crowd out to enjoy the music and maybe experience something different than what they normally hear on Friday night in Toronto. Just maybe a miscellaneous sounds and stuff that's a bit left field, but also danceable.
Awesome.
Arriving at Spadina Station.
All right, do it.
Ready?